What's up, my people? Devin O'Bannon here with Black Irish Entertainment. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to Music Talk, where I chop it up with music creators and music lovers about, you guessed it, music. So hit that subscribe button, hit like on this video, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop the next one. All right, let's get into it. What's up, my people? Devin O'Bannon here with Black Irish Entertainment. Welcome to the first episode of Music Talk. This is a very special episode. Very special episode because I'm able to interview, I guess not really interview, but to chop it up really with the first artist, if not the first artist, the first person I created with in Los Angeles when I moved there. This guy is an incredible songwriter, incredible artist. He dances. His content is crazy. Like, he's just an all-around incredible creative, and one of the pioneers, one of the first pioneers to start this positive R&B movement that we have going on now. My guy, Kennis Clark. My guy, how you feeling, man?
Hey, I am blessed, man. Thank you, Dev. Thank you, man. That felt like a Shay
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get like Shay Shay.
introduction.
I'm trying to get like Shay Shay.
That was very Shay-ish, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But we could do it the reverse way, bro. I could do the same intro for you.
Nah, man,
You're a
nah.
singer,
Everybody
songwriter,
knows who I am.
producer,
You know what I'm saying?
composer, arranger, vocalist. Oh man,
Nah, man.
engineer.
One stop shop, bro. One stop shop.
Dope, man.
No, man.
It's good
Yeah.
to be here with you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being a part of this. Thank you for really like sparking this whole thing. Again, like I said, it's the first episode, so having you to be the first person to kind of like get this thing going is an honor for me, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to chop it up with me, man.
Of course, man. Of course.
For for those who don't know who you are, let them know who you are. Let them know what you do.
Yeah. So again, my name is Kennis Clark. I am a recording artist, a songwriter, vocal producer. I do BGVs. I do consulting. I also work with this really dope remote recording solutions company called Hall Up. We're revolutionizing that whole experience. Deb said I'm a dancer. I haven't danced in years. Like, I don't know what I got left in these knees
Nah, man, nah.
or in these lungs, you know what I'm saying, to do it. However,
Funny.
I got a little 1-2 step ready at all times.
That's it. That's it. Gotta have a groove ready at all times. The groove ready at
Yeah,
all times.
man. I hoop a little bit, I'm a brother, I am a son, obviously. I
Man of
am
God, man of God.
and a God, man, and really been these last couple of years, really been diving into this positive Christian faith-based R&B team
Yes,
and
sir.
trying to work that out. But yeah, man, just overall, man, cool dude. And I'm laid back. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I can be serious sometimes. Don't mess with my music stuff. Uh, Dev could tell you I'm very serious in the studio
Hey, man.
when
You
we're
know,
getting down to
yes,
particulars.
it's about business. When you get in the lab, like, we come to work. We'll have fun. We're gonna have
Mhm.
fun. There's no
Yeah,
question, but we come to work. So
yeah. You
that's
remember
why
that?
we work so well together.
You remember that truce we made years ago? Like no BS.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. And it's
We
still
said
to this
no
day.
BS.
No BS in here, man. If I'm doing something you don't connect with, tell me.
Hmm.
Likewise, I'm gonna let you know. I'm not gonna say it out of hate. I'm not gonna make you feel bad about it. I'm gonna say it out of love, but like let
Hmm.
me know because I don't like wasting my time and I don't like wasting other people's time. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man.
I'm here to create. But off of that creative step, man, let's jump right into it. Like, how did you get where you are right now? Like, what were the steps of becoming the
Mm,
Kenneth Clark?
man, and there's so much more to go, like
Yeah.
humbly speaking, like I feel like I'm just approaching the starting line. There are certain times where I feel like that, depending on the room that I'm in, depending on the direction I'm going musically.
Yeah.
It's like, all your experience works, but to a certain extent, it resets to zero.
Mm.
And you got to learn new things in new ways. And I think I'm at that place right now. But just to kind of go to kind of add to that question, answering it there, man, it took a lot of time. It took a lot of, you know, obviously work, discovery, understanding like where I am in each place or each
Growth.
season in
A
my
lot of
career,
growth. A lot of growth.
growth,
Hmm.
sacrifice. Yeah, man, I look back, I said, man, I would be a millionaire if I didn't do music.
Talk about it. Talk
But
about it. Talk about it.
that's that. Well, and I say that because music for me is just it's a passion, and I chose music over pursuing other things.
Mm,
Um, I'm a barber too, like I cut hair as well.
true.
Um, if I would have did barbering, being a barber, I probably would have been at a certain place, in
Yeah.
my career.
Yeah.
However, um, I wouldn't change any decision that I made. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? And I know
yeah.
God is really working through me.
Yeah.
And helping me to learn. So yeah, all of that, man, just really, really having a goal, having a vision, and just chasing it without any regret.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
that's dope, bro. And I mean, that's the part that people don't. I guess people talk about it. People
Hmm.
talk about chasing the dream and getting to that dream and finding successes and everything like that. But
Hmm.
it's that growth, that growing pain. The
Yeah,
growing pains that we go through, and it's not just one. It's not like, okay, we chased the dream, we went through the growing pains, and now we're here. It's just like, no, it's reoccurring growing pains. Like it happens over and
it
over and over and
cycles.
over again. And one thing that I've learned, even in my journey of being an entrepreneur in the music industry, is that um, those growing pains always end with a lesson that helps me step up to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
you know, my story of transitioning to LA from Alabama and then
right.
transitioning from LA to Bermuda, like
Mm,
it's all jam packed with like growing pains and lessons learned and growth and
yeah,
development to become who I am. And so I like how you said that, there's different levels that you had to take to get to where you are right now. And that
yeah,
you're at a level like almost having to reset again to get to the next level.
yeah, yeah, man. Because at one time it was like, hey, man, like, I'm just on the grind, right? That means
Yeah,
like
yeah.
any and everything is a go.
Yeah.
That dealt with music.
Yeah.
Like okay, like for instance, me originally leaving New York, leaving to move to California, not really having a plan in place.
Yeah.
Well, we had a plan, but plans fell through.
Yeah.
And just kind of winging it. But God has still blessed me with resources and people that have helped along the way, including yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but having an idea of the goal and then going for it, but never really knowing how it's going to turn out at the end of the day.
Right.
Because whether you're doing music or business marketing or whatever it is, every career is not like this. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't just go straight. Like you don't start at zero and then just automatic. Like you, everything it's all over the place. It's topsy turvy. It's not
Yes.
linear.
Yeah. It's all.
And
Yeah.
I think I've had really, really great experiences talking with like some of the dopest people in like the industry. Like I'm talking like people who worked on Michael Jackson's records, people who like are part of this or part of that, or and to look back and say, hey man, like before I would be sad about it, like, oh man, I didn't get a chance to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
see it all the way through, go through it. But now I'm looking back, it's like, I had that opportunity to meet them for a reason, because my gift made room in that room for that
Hmm.
time.
That's dope.
And now it's on to what
The
God has
next one.
for me next.
Hmm.
You were there. You were there when certain
Man,
label was trying to
I'm telling you,
destroy,
like,
and you were there, bro.
right,
You were there. Let me tell you guys something. The moment I worked with them, the very first day, so we worked on a song called Forever.
forever. Yep, I remember
And
that.
I remember listening to, and I met Dev through a mutual friend who was shooting out music videos at the time.
Mm.
And literally, when I heard Dev's voice, because the boy can blow, he could sing like for real. He'd be playing around.
Come on.
He just got stage fright. That's it, y'all. He
Shout
don't like being in front of people singing. But Dev,
out to Prince Dominic, by the way, man. Shout out
Prince
to my
Dominic,
guy.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
My guy,
So
appreciate
yeah,
you for
Prince
making the
Dominic,
connection.
man, was pinnacle in a lot.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, so I heard Dev's voice and I said, yeah, he's fire. I have to work with him. And I think the next week we got in the studio. We worked on this song I wrote called Forever, and Dev went and helped me with the arrangements. And we co-wrote that. You wrote the second verse for it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then helped me track it, and then he mixed it and all of that stuff. And like after that day, I was like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be my guy. We're gonna
Locked
do
in.
that work.
Locked
Mm-hmm.
in for life, man. Locked in for
Locked
life.
in,
And we
man.
we grew together. So like I
Yeah.
I went back and listened to Forever maybe like a month ago,
Oh yeah.
and I cringed, bro.
Ah,
I
ugh,
cringed because I was like, like we let that joint. Like, I mean,
ugh.
but it was where we were at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It was cool
yeah.
with where we were at the time. If I were to able to go back and like remix it and redo some
Mm-hmm.
things on it, like it'd be a whole different record. But
Right.
it's just it's a good feeling at the same time because you go back to those moments where you were like, yes, I got it, I figured it out, I'm in my growing process, and then you realize where you are right now with the growth and development of it
Yeah.
all. It's like, man, like okay, I'm good because I am making progress.
Yeah.
I'd be upset if my music sounded the same.
Still sound like that.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
this is 10 years ago, something
Yeah.
like
Just
that.
about.
2014, 2015, somewhere around there.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's
If our
crazy, bro.
music still sound like that today,
Bro, I dust it off, hang up the gloves, it's a wrap. Like
man, I'm gonna go cut somebody hair, and
that's it.
that's just what I'm gonna do. You
That's
know
it,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
That's
But
it.
yeah,
Another
like
question for you, bro.
motivation.
Another question for you. What kind of music do you usually listen to? Like what I guess what's the word I'm looking for? What pushes the
Like,
style that you have? Like,
all right. So usually when people ask this question, I think they expect me to say like relevant artist
mm,
or a slew of like legendary artists.
mm.
They call legendary artists,
Yeah,
right?
legendary, yeah.
Like
Legend.
legendary artists, right? First off, I love R&B. R&B was like my base. R&B and hip hop was
Mm,
like my base. Moving to California, I was exposed to a lot more like pop type records,
okay.
like top 40 type pop records, and of course EDM.
Right.
Um, and people might say, "Man, you listen to EDM, you listen to that stuff," like because at the time I was deep in EDM. I would go to the EDM club, or
Yeah, yeah,
I go to the EDM. I was deep in there. Like I knew
yeah.
everything about spinning records, all the artists they signed. Me and a mutual friend of ours called his name was Antonio Fresco.
Yeah, shout out to
Shout out to
Fresco.
Antonio if you're
My
out there
guy,
watching.
Fresco.
Um, yeah, but what I've what I've learned about my style is that I kind of I pull from a lot.
Okay.
I grew up on like the Ushers, the B2Ks, the Cisco's, and Music Soul Child, like
Hmm.
everything R&B. Like I just ate it up when I was younger.
Yeah.
So there is certain times I might pull from a certain style that I've listened to. Like for instance, there might be times like I might tap into like a raspy part of my voice, like John Legend, or I might
Mm,
tap into a certain tone that might give you some Music Soul Child vibes.
yeah,
Or I
yeah.
might go falsetto or something in a certain way I do it. It gives you like a little bit of Usher.
Got it. Got it.
Depending on how I feel that day, you might get some of Marion through the nose. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You might get the tone. It just
Right.
depends.
Right.
But today, and I say all that's to lead to today, I listen to a lot of instrumentals. Like I
Mm,
listen to a lot of chill hop. I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to R&B too. Um, some of the R&B, the content is a little different for my taste these days.
got it.
Um, but I still listen to cadences and things like that. Um, so I listen to a lot of like, and I listen to a lot of like deep house and stuff too. So
Okay.
my my library on Apple Music is filled with a ton of artists that you probably don't know because they're not
Give
like
me,
all.
give me one of the
All right, let me go.
influences, music influences.
Let me pull this up.
Yeah.
Um, well, I don't know if I should call them influences because I'm not like copying their sound. I just
Oh yeah, yeah.
like what they're doing.
Right. And I
Like,
mean, I don't. I'm not saying like somebody that you copy after or anything like that. I mean,
okay,
I feel like even just the music we listen to on a regular basis has an influence on our creativity in some form or fashion. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? So I'm not saying it in a negative way, but just like somebody you listen to is just like, man, like the way they write is an influence of how like I'd want to write a song one day, or
yeah,
the way that they sing is how I'd want to sing another song one day. So like,
right.
just throw one
So
out there.
so so there's some fellow artists that I listen to, like my boy Kmo Shamal, like
Okay,
that's my guy. Like I
fire.
listen to a lot of his stuff. But then
Shout
like
out.
I'll give you names like Debbie. There's a girl named Debbie. She has a song called No Way, and the
Okay.
song is wild. It's wild. It's R&B, but it's wild. There's, for instance, there's a guy named Jid or JID. Like he
Yeah,
does more hip hop. He's with I think Dreamville, but he's fire.
yeah,
There's this
yeah,
like guy named Veggie, like
yeah.
who really he does like a lot of like house music,
Fire,
but recently discovered him. He's dope.
fire.
Kate Renata is pretty dope.
Yeah, K Tronada.
Um, Kate Renata is dope. There's this one guy. He sings this song called Cowboy.
Hmm.
And when I tell you this song right here is wild, let me just pull it up. Let me try to find it.
Yeah, we can't play it, but
I can't play it,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, man. So like this,
So,
so I think I'm sorry, his name is Kid Bloom.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I know you're
yeah, he
talking
has a
about.
song called Cowboy. So I think my earlier days of music, like I would listen to what everyone else is listening to.
Hmm.
Like I would say, oh, everyone's listening to this. I'm gonna listen to this because this is
Right.
what I should be listening to. But as I grew older and as I experimented with sound and experienced new sound, anything that sounds good to me, I'm gonna listen to it.
Fire, fire.
It could be K-pop, it can be whatever it is. I'm gonna listen
Yeah.
to it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good, man. That's good. That means your sonic influences are wide. Like you're not stuck in a box,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
dope.
I try to, and you know, some stuff I listen to for like, that's a dope sound.
Hmm.
Try that, and some stuff I'm like, I just like to listen to it.
Yeah, just the vibe to it. That's what's up. I like that. One question I ask people all the time especially my creatives, um, when it comes to writing music as
Mm.
an artist, as a songwriter, um, does the beat need to happen first, or do the lyrics come first?
Yo, that is a good question. That is a great question. So for me, I always need some sort of a beat to
Okay.
like to feel inspired.
Okay.
Something about the beat has to grab me, whether it's like, I don't know, whether it's the drum pattern,
Hmm.
whether it's the chords, like something, tempo, something has to grab me in the beat because I
Okay.
have to almost visualize lyrics
Hmm.
after melody. Like for me, lyrics come last.
Okay. Got it.
Lyrics are the very last thing I'm doing.
Got you.
Because music is a vibration, it's a feel.
Hmm.
Music is this sonic energy that we have the great opportunity to create and communicate through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with certain songs, I need to be able to like almost hear it before I hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
I get
saying?
that.
Like
I
you
get
ever
that.
talking to somebody and or how about this? You ever communicating with like for instance like your wife, right?
Mm.
And like she might look at you a certain way. And even though there's no words involved, you know exactly what she's saying by the way she might be looking at
Yeah.
you, even if
100%.
it's a subtle twitch in the eyebrow
Right.
or like a smirk or
Right.
frown or
Right.
whatever it is, you understand where you might not have that confirmation yet,
Right.
but
Right.
you're there. And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I
Yeah.
feel when it comes to the beat and the melody. Like, okay, okay, the
Mm.
beat is hot. If I do a melody, the melody's saying something to me. I don't know what it is, but it's
Right.
saying
Right. Right.
something. Then the
And you
last step
start
is
start
like,
doing the mumbling melody thing,
yeah,
like yeah.
you start
Right.
decoding it. Like
Right. Right.
now, like let's decode everything I
Yeah.
just did. And
That's fire.
sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I have songs that I haven't finished where like I just gave up on trying to decode it because
Mm.
what I felt was just like I can't put words to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't put
Yeah.
words to this right now. I'm just
I
gonna
get
just
that.
let it be what it's gonna be.
I mean, that's how it is sometimes. Like you start an idea and the I think I was talking to you about this where inspiration has an expiration date.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like if you catch it and you go, and you finish the song, then great. But sometimes you catch it and then you hit that block and you're just like, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I'll come back to
It's
it
just like, all
later.
right,
So,
we'll sit it in the blocks and then we'll come back to it
all
later
right, we're
and
just gonna.
yeah, new inspiration. So I get
Mhm.
that. I get that.
How
So
about
for
you?
you,
What about you?
for me, man, as a producer, as a composer, engineer, music has to come first for me.
Hmm.
Even when I listen to music, I listen to the beat first. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I listen to the melodic elements first before I start, like you said, decoding the lyrics. Like, oh,
Right.
what are they saying in this song? It's just like
Hmm.
I hear the beat, I hear where it sits, I hear where the low end sits, the high end sits. Like my ear goes and just dissects the music first,
Mm,
and
yeah.
then I dive into, okay, well, what is this song really about? Like,
Yeah.
let me listen to what these artists are saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it for me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. These are
So,
some really good questions, bro.
nah, man, I like being able to dive deeper into the creative space. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And being able to chop it up with a creative like you. Like, it's not just gonna be basic questions like, "Hey, do you do music?" Of course you do music. You know what I'm saying? Of course you do music. You know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying? But I want to be able to dive deeper because I like having these conversations naturally. We talk like this all the time. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So being able to have this conversation, it could open up the inspiration and minds of like other creatives that are listening now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
being able
Super
to
dope,
have these
man.
conversations could inspire other people to create different ways, to learn different ways, to listen different ways. So
Yeah.
how often do you create, man?
Man, so it kind of depends on what I'm doing. So I just wrapped up a project.
Yeah,
So I'm really
talk
happy
about it.
about that. Really happy about that.
Boom.
So I've been creating around this project. So this project is man, is I really, really enjoy it, man. It's my first project being released since not my first, but I haven't released a project since 2017. So it's been
Okay. Yeah.
like 7 years
Mm-hmm.
since I released any project. I've just been dropping singles. And yeah, man. So the project is entitled Chemistry,
Okay.
uh, which is really just a play on me sharing a segment or chapter of my life with my people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And coming from the angle that I'm coming from. So there are songs on there that will show some vulnerability. There's some songs in there that will show some self-discovery.
Yeah.
There's some songs in there which will show and see how God orchestrates certain things.
Yeah.
There's some stuff there when talk about like my current, like my wife, and kind of like how the feels of meeting her, and
Yeah.
how good God is, and just different things, and that involve the values of being a follower of Jesus,
Yeah.
um, but not so much into the actual like spiritual sense.
Spiritual aspect of it.
It's
Yeah.
more of like the everyday aspect,
Yeah.
but in just a nice bite, nice
Yeah.
or nice slice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
No.
it's called Chemistry because essentially it's you know ministry from my lens.
Got you. Got you. How long did it take you to create that project?
Well, it took me a little while because I worked with writers Kamo Shamal,
Fire.
and the team Free Maverick, Free Spirit Mavericks, so which is consists of Kamo Shamal, Jay LA, who's another dope writer, and
Fire.
myself.
Yeah.
Um, and then of course working with one producer to get the bulk of it, and then kind of branching out to other producers.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
Devin has a record on the project.
You know what I'm saying?
By the way,
You know what
but
I'm saying? Yeah.
yeah, so I'd say it took me about mm, so it took me about a year to complete the first draft of the project.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this year I started releasing some of the songs from it to kind
Okay.
of build up momentum.
Yeah.
And then in doing that, there's songs that I was like, I'm not going to use that one. I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
And then it's like new songs that I created. And I'm like, oh, boom, I'm gonna put this on a project.
Right. Right.
Just too, I work with my wife like a lot. We've been working a lot more. So like her
That's
pen
dope.
is on this project
Fire.
like a nice amount.
That's
Like
dope.
just aiding me with like the writing and the melodies. Like there's a record on there that's like it's really all her pen.
That's
Like
dope. And y'all got
seriously.
a record. Y'all got a record. Godfidence
Yeah,
together,
yeah,
right? And she's singing on that record.
yeah. She's singing that
That's
one.
fire,
She
man.
does
You know what I'm saying?
not want to be known for that.
Nah,
Hated those vocals. I
it's
was
a
like,
fire record though, yo.
yo,
It's a fire
you
record.
gotta do it. Like, we gotta release this. Like, this is hot. And everyone
Right.
loves the record. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
fire. That's fire.
but yeah, so she's on there. And then, like I said, Kmo Shamal, JLA.
Dope.
I worked with my guy Carell, who's been lacing a lot of the bass throughout the
Mm,
project.
yeah.
Um, my guy Gregatron, who's been
Yeah.
mixing.
Shout out to Gregatron, man.
Gregatron been going crazy on this project.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, I got mastering between a guy named Dan Shike and some of the cats at Hall Up actually stepped up to
Fire.
do some of the
Fire.
mastering.
That's
Um,
dope, man. That's dope. It
yeah,
sounds like you have a really dope creative community of people that you can just tap into
yeah,
on a
it's a
regular basis.
blessing.
That's
It's a
good.
blessing because some people have to go to like a BeatStars and get a beat,
Right, right.
and then they have to do that. I do that if I want to, but I don't have to
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
to make music. You know, I
That's
spent
good.
time to invest into my own like equipment to learn how to at least be able to create a song in my in my program and use
Right,
whatever I need to use to make it at least listenable. Is that a
right.
word? Listen.
Yeah, listenable.
Um, is that a word?
Right.
Um, you know what I'm saying? So I'm truly blessed, man, to
That's
have
dope,
people
man.
like yourself and the others to
Yeah,
help
man.
on this journey.
That's what it's about, man. It's about having a network of people and growing and building that not fan base, but that foundation. That's what I'm trying to say. That foundation of people. So when you
Yeah.
get to a point where you're like, hey, I need a producer, I can make a quick phone call. Oh, I
Hmm.
need a partnering songwriter. Hey, I can make a quick phone call.
Yes.
And even extended, like if you called me and said, hey, Dev, like I'm looking for a specific songwriter, or if I called you and said, "Hey, I need somebody who does this very well," your
Hmm.
network, you can hit somebody and say, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you," or vice versa. And we
Yeah.
do the same for each other. Like I can hit somebody and say, "Hey, I have Kennis Clark, super dope songwriter for this." Boom.
Hmm.
Or he can record his own vocals at his home studio, and we can get stuff turned around like we did the other day.
Yeah.
Like tap into your network. That's
Yeah.
super important, and that's great to hear. Great to hear that you
Yeah.
have a dope network. I was gonna ask you. I mean, as a producer, I know our workflow.
Hmm.
When you work with other producers, like what's your workflow with them?
Um, so when I'm working with another producer, the first time I'm working with them, I'm very observant. Like I want to see how you flow and find ways that I fit into that.
Hmm.
Um, but it also just depends on the situation.
Yeah,
Like for instance, like if it's a session that I'm called into to like come and write a record and like for the artist or something like that,
yeah,
I'm gonna come in there and like I'm gonna like be able to communicate with that producer pretty clearly, and I'm gonna kind of have a vision or idea in mind. I'm gonna kind of steer the ship a bit,
right,
like,
right,
hey man, let's play some records. What you got going? Like,
yeah,
so for instance, um, early this year I had the opportunity to write for Fox, and
fire,
super dope.
fire,
Had a chance to work with like some just dope artists.
yeah.
And Tisha Campbell, she was in the room with me, which is
Shout
dope.
out to Tisha Campbell.
Shout out to Tisha, Gina.
Right.
Um, but the producer that was there, he's playing some stuff, and I kind of noticed like, okay, like I need to kick in captain mode. So I was like,
Yeah,
all right, man, like, hey, let's lay some drums. I'm hearing this,
yeah,
like
yeah,
fix that. And
yeah,
then he was
yeah,
like, I bet. And then yeah, it's little stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I'm like, okay,
yeah.
because now I'm like, okay, let's get inspired by the beat.
That's
And
fire.
then now like let's work with that, right?
That's
So
fire.
that's one situation where I have to steer. But then
Yeah.
some producers, man, they know exactly what they got already. They're just
Mhm.
press and play. And it's
Yeah.
more like, is it something I can see myself working on?
Yeah. Finding inspiration in it. That's
Yeah.
dope, man. That's
But I
dope.
always like to play, I always like the producer to at least be able to hear hear something that I've done already.
Mm,
So they can kind of use that sonically to create a beat
got you.
that makes
Got you.
sense.
Yeah.
Because the voice
So
is like an instrument
yeah, no, it makes sense. It
in a
makes sense.
sense. Like your voice is an instrument. It has different pitches and tones. And when when a good producer hears that and they
Yeah.
know what works with it,
Yeah, yeah.
You know
I
what I
was gonna
mean?
ask, what's your preference? Do you prefer having the beat already made and then you kind of go from there, or have you
Mhm.
been in sessions where the producer actually made the beat while you were in there also writing to it?
Man, I used to like the beat to be made already, but
Mm-hmm.
not anymore.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's easier to add on than to take away.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like some people like they say it's easy to take away than to add on.
Mm,
But in the world of producing, I feel like you get a beat that's already made, you have to work with that.
that makes sense.
Anything
Yeah.
you take away is going to change the fullness of it. You either
Yeah.
have to you got to replace it with something else.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you take out like certain things, it might sound empty. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like if
It's
you
not
take
gonna
out
hold the
like
same inspiration that the first beat made.
right,
Yeah.
right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You kind of gotta play surgery a little bit to kind of figure out how to do it. Like for instance, like the song I have called Clean,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Clean, like I work with the producer, he already made the beat.
Yeah.
So I just did my thing on the beat.
Right.
But when we were mixing, we was like, it still needs something.
Mm-hmm.
So working with Greg went in there, he added some shakers to the hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the shakers.
Shakers took it to
He
the next
added,
level.
changed the whole feel of it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, now this is moving. It's like
Yeah.
these little intentional, this little, not intentional, but these little changes that you can make
Yeah.
you don't realize changes how a record comes
Mm-hmm.
across.
Yeah.
So for me in these days, I want to do that from the beginning, like
Got it.
from the chord melody to the 808 we decide to use to whatever kick we're going to use to the snare to whatever hi-hat,
Yeah.
you know, pattern to everything. Because now I'm at a place where I understand song structure,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I might not know how to play it.
Right. Right. Right.
Like
But you can talk it.
I can talk it
We can.
for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
fire. That's fire. Well, man, that's super dope. I love seeing that creative side of you. Is the areas where okay, I need to spearhead this, I need to take control of this, and
Mhm.
then other areas where it's just like, okay, I can take back seat and just give my input and allow the song to develop the way that it needs to develop. That's super dope.
Yeah.
Um, on the more personal side,
Okay.
um, what does music do for you?
Mm, man, music is like it's like my friend, that friend that like you don't need to talk to them a lot.
Mm,
You just need to like listen to them
mm, okay.
talk in a way.
Yeah.
Like is that friend like that energy that comes around that just helps you to go through what you're going through,
Mm,
be it negative or positive.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know, man. It's like this. It's this sonic message that's just there, and you can get to it every time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
like for instance, this song by Kid Bloom called Cowboy.
Yeah.
Like we'll play it once this is over. Like you guys are not going to get a chance to
I know.
stop and
We
listen to
can't.
it.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you've heard it
Um,
though. The song is pretty big.
it's really dope.
Yeah.
But
It's massive.
just the message in his song, the feel, the sonics, the energy, that song just has something that it just speaks to a certain part of me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it helps me to even be able to kind of illustrate some things I may be feeling or I didn't even realize I was feeling
Dope.
until
Dope.
I hear it. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, like I didn't realize I was feeling that, or I never processed that thing, or
It's a
man,
form of therapy. It's a form of
yes, it's
therapy, really.
very therapeutic,
Yeah. Yeah.
very therapeutic. And when you're doing music like I've been doing, which is like infusing like this positive message with the R&B,
Yeah.
it's is it's retaining the feel of R&B while giving it a different type of therapy.
Right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
That's
Uh,
fire, man. Yeah. That's one
yeah.
thing that I appreciate and love about music is that if used properly, it can like configure your mind and emotions and everything in a positive way to help you sort through like trauma, help you
Yeah.
sort through like emotions that you don't know how to release. I mean,
Mhm.
using music to release emotions is like
Mhm.
one of the top things. Like You listen to a lot of music of breakups and loss and all this other stuff. They're using music to sort through those emotions and find release and relief
Yeah,
through these emotions and through these songs. Like, it's incredible. And so that's why I really love and appreciate music, and be able to use it in that form
right.
is a strength. I told you, but I'll share with everybody else, and I'm sure everybody else kind of knows now. I have a contract at the Arizona Juvenile Correctional Facility in Phoenix,
Mm,
Arizona, and we're not, we built the studio. We have a program developing and growing with the kids, a music and recording arts program where they're learning to songwrite, they're learning to produce, they're learning to engineer, they're learning all these things, they're learning to collaborate. But there's an underlying element of music therapy, because we're able to use those songs for them to tell their stories. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that they're dealing with on a regular basis, they're able to
mm,
put that into the music. And already we're seeing the benefits of it. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And kids are shifting their mentalities, or shifting the way they make decisions, or shifting the way they talk based off of this program. And so
mm,
being able to use it in the form of music therapy, like music in general, creative spaces like the ones that we have,
mm-hmm.
and being able to put it in a space of like therapy is huge and life
Yeah.
changing. Like, we're shifting generations with this music thing when used properly.
When used properly, man, like
Mhm.
people don't understand the power of music. Like like there are frequencies when you play certain chords that
Yeah.
will make you cry. You don't
Facts.
know why, but
Yeah.
you will cry.
Yeah.
Like, there are some that will give you energy. That's why, like, if you look at like the hit songs, like for like the past decade, acts like AI, like what key are what's the
Right.
most common key that the most hit songs were in within the past decade? You're gonna see, I think is what, A minor. You're
A
gonna
lot of similarities in that.
a lot of
Yeah.
similarities there because those songs usually make people feel happy.
Right.
There's a
Right.
song that I mentioned the artist a little earlier. His name is Jid, and he does hip hop and things like that. Um, and I typically don't listen to a lot of hip hop because of, some of the stuff that's in it.
Yeah.
Um, for the most part, like, I pretty much can weed out some of the
Yeah.
negativity things in it. But he has this song called um called 151 Rum.
Hmm.
The first time I heard that song, I wanted to go to the gym. Just those 20 minutes, I'm like, I need to go to the
Right.
gym. Like, and then
Right.
when I'm at the gym, like I feel like I'm just going hard. Like I'm just
Yeah.
because there's
Right.
something about that song that just gives
Full
me
of energy.
energy.
That's
You know what
fire.
I'm saying?
That's fire.
But think about, like, even in a spiritual sense, like think about, you know, if you even want to reference the Bible, like think about like the worshipers going forth first before battle,
Hmm.
right? Like kind of
Yep.
setting the tone there.
Setting the tone.
Um,
Yep.
you know what I mean, with the songs that they were saying and
Yeah.
things like that. So
Yeah. Now it makes
yeah,
sense.
it's powerful too, man. That's why it had that's why it's so sought after.
Right. Right.
Control the
Yeah.
control of it is sought after.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
true. And you mentioned AI.
Hmm.
That was one of my questions I wanted to ask you. This
Okay.
new age of AI
Hmm.
and it infiltrating the music industry, and people being able, like, people who don't even sing, don't write, whatever, being able to create these AI generated songs and putting them in places where they're earning like crazy streams and all this money and everything like that. How do you feel about that as a songwriter? AI infiltrating the, not just people using it in a fraudulent way or a non-creative way, but
Hmm.
people using AI in the music industry. How do you feel about it?
I think the introduction of AI is good in some cases, and in other cases not, right? So I know that there's a few AI tools where you can use it to help you write lyrics.
Mhm.
I've never used any AI tool, but there are some that, if you get a little writer's block, you get caught up, it'll help you kind of flow through that, or help
Right,
you, create a melody,
right,
right?
right.
Almost like you're working with someone in the studio to help you do that. You're like, hey
Hmm.
man, bro, you put a melody down. I don't know, I don't got nothing.
Right.
Okay, AI tool will do it. I think that when you start to create whole bodies of work or pieces from AI, you're gonna have to um it's, I mean, if you're gonna be an artist, right? I mean, if you're just gonna make those songs and sit behind, then
Right.
that's what you're doing. Like,
Right.
I'm not the one that's gonna say, don't do that. Like,
Right. Right. No judgment. Yeah.
look, man, like if that's what you've created, cool. Don't use my likeness. You know what I'm saying? This
Right.
AI
Right.
is a whole different thing.
Right. Right.
Because I
Right.
think, because even if you think about like people who would use like I think there was, when certain stars would pass away, like they would create like holograms of them.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that
Because
big.
it's
Yeah.
not the real person, but you still appreciate it because it's some sort of the real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so I'm not
I
really
get
tripping
that.
on that. But at some point, like if you are gonna try to be an artist and things like that, and you're using AI, like you're gonna have to like, step up to whatever you're creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some
There's
point, like if you can't sing and you out here, you got your AI voice singing for you,
right.
like that's Milli Vanilli all over again. Like,
Right. You're
you
not gonna come
know,
on stage like
like are
can't
you
come on
gonna,
stage with an AI voice. People
you
gonna
know what I'm
know.
saying? And
You know
what
what I'm saying?
happens is like, now I know some of the DSPs on the legal side, like they're cracking down on some of that stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like they just found a guy who was running an AI farm and it was just like making buku money off of
Yeah.
Spotify. He got sent away for like 60. He's facing 60 years. And he looked like he like 45, 50. So it's, you know what I mean? Like now you're dealing with stuff like that. Now it's a federal charge, right?
Right. Right. 100%.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad when using it in moderation, maybe to help and assist.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like a resume. Like you can't just make up a whole resume from AI and then expect to get the job. Or you're getting that job, they're gonna expect you to be able to do the job.
Facts.
You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? Like if you
100%.
can't do the jobs, and like, well, how'd you
Right.
get
Where
this
how did you
resume?
get through the interview, right?
You,
What did you do on this resume in real time?
you
Like,
really didn't create this project and handle
right.
these teams, right?
Right. Right.
But if you did do the work, it shows. And I
Nah, that
think,
makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense. And I like how you said if used properly, used in moderation, like it could be an awesome assistant. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Even on the
yeah,
production side, there's I mean, we use a certain generated tools or whatever to create sounds or
mhm,
you know on the mixing mastering side there's mixing assistants so where you or mastering assistants where you can run it through a system just to see where your mix is sitting in comparison to the hit records that are out and that are in the same category as yours so you
mhm,
can make sure that your stuff is competing, you know what I'm saying, as far as the loudness or the width or whatever it may be, like
yeah,
being able to use it properly is a great thing, and I agree with that. And
yeah,
having people use it in a fraudulent way or in a way that's not real, to you as an artist or them as an
mhm.
artist or whatever it may be, like I dust my hands of that. But using it in a proper way is
Yeah, I'm cool with that. It's just don't use my stuff. I won't, use nobody else's stuff.
right.
Impersonate, you need a little
That's
help
it.
on lyrics, especially where people are writing a lot sometimes by themselves remotely.
Right, right.
Never
Having
do it.
that extra mind almost to
Yeah.
help you get through it. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like I think it's Avid, but they're putting out something where you can automate. I don't know if that's the right word, but basically you won't have to EQ. It
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
EQs for
It's
you.
it's waves.
Waves. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, Avid. Name
waves.
drop. Waves. It's like
Yeah, waves is coming up with the new automated EQing system where they can, all the bad frequencies that you have to carve out or all the good frequencies that you want to keep, it's
Mhm.
naturally gonna do that for you. And that I was like, woo.
I will be getting that because I was trying to learn EQing this year
Yeah,
and learning at what gigahertz to make cuts and what to look for and things like that. And
yeah,
my brain is not welcoming the idea. So
yeah. It
I'm gonna be using waves
Nah, that's
for
fire.
sure.
Shout out to Waves for that. That's gonna be a
Hmm.
huge benefit for um a lot of people who are either starting in the mixing mastering space,
Hmm.
songwriters who are just trying to get good vocals just so they can send stuff off, whatever it may
Yeah.
be, concepts, whatever it may be. Yeah, so shout out to Waves for that. Um and then finally, tell me something new.
I know.
Tell me something that I don't know
Tell you
about
something
the
that I
Kenneth Clark.
don't know that about me,
Or tell the people something that they don't know. I mean, I've known you for 10 plus years, so
yeah, like I'm like,
well, I know. I was like, we gotta
you know,
know a lot about each
you
other,
know
but something
everything.
that you want to share with the world, the listeners, the subscribers, the followers of Music Talk.
So something that I want to share with them. All right, so something I want to share with them and something that they don't know might be two different things for me.
Give me both.
So I'm going to give you guys something that you don't know, and that Candace Clark, I I like watching Bug Wars on YouTube.
That's, I didn't even know that. Said
Yo,
bug war. So
yo,
like spiders versus scorpions, and they put them in.
yes, yes, all of it. I don't know why. Like
That's funny.
I got so interested in that during COVID,
That
and
is funny.
I will watch Bug Wars. I will watch these bugs go to battle, and then
Yeah.
they do these animal sounds like they're really, doing it.
Right, right, right.
These cameras get so close you can see the bug, but it's a whole world that we don't really get to know and see.
Nah, that's real.
Like it's crazy. I nerd out sometimes on that. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm here
It's a
for it.
little
I'm
weird.
here for it. I'm here for it. That's funny.
Yes.
All right, what's your next one? What do you want to share and
Okay.
where can
But the
people
thing I
find
would want to share with the people, the listeners, everyone, these times are tough. They're really, really tough, man. They're really, really hard. And there's a lot of um opportunities to fall into dark thoughts, into places that feel like there's no hope. And I just want to tell people that there is hope. I want to
you?
tell people that God sees you. He
Yeah,
knows where you're at. He
yeah,
knows the situation before it even comes before you, and he's seeing you out of that situation or through it.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Mm,
So to continue to fight, to continue to press in to God. And if you don't know God, you don't know, Jesus, I know that there's a lot around what that may look like for you and even your family and all of that. But give it a try.
yeah,
You might find something worth staying there.
that's good.
Um,
That's good.
so yeah, just want to just inspire people, man. Just keep on pushing. As I talk to y'all, I always talk to myself
Word.
about that because things can get really, really rough. But I've been through enough roughness to know that, God was with me the whole time, every
Yeah,
time,
that's real.
even
That's
when I
real.
didn't think he would be.
Yeah, that's
You know what
real.
I'm saying? So a little inspiration for y'all. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, my guy. And appreciate your
Sure.
time today, man. I'm glad to be able to chop it up with you and
Yes, sir.
learn more about who Kenneth Clark is, and including the bug wars, including the bug wars. But just knowing who you are as Kenneth Clark, and then also the artist version of Kenneth Clark, how you
Yeah,
create, how you write, what inspires you.
yeah.
And again, thank you for taking the time. Thank you all for listening. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
tapping it in. Subscribe, like this video, share it with your people. If you know who Kenneth Clark is, share it. If you don't know who Kenneth Clark is and you learned something about him today, share it. And hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going to drop the next one. All right. Again, Devin O'Bannon here with Black Irish Entertainment. My guy, Kenneth Clark, you know,
Yeah.
my guy for life. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good one. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the energy and keep creating. All right. Peace.